3, action. Hey guys, today we're going to be doing one of my favorite recipes, which is salmon belly Izakaya style. And that means whenever you're in a Japanese pub, you're going to be having a bar fish and grill, right? So it's going to be a slow roast, but since we don't have a Japanese coal fire to be able to do these things over, we're going to mimic that and then actually do it on a broiler on the oven over here. So let's go ahead and get started. Mise en place, right? Great. So the first thing we're going to do is get our mise en place for our ingredients. The first thing we're going to do is soy sauce, obviously. This is a mushroom soy sauce, one of my favorites. This is the trade secret. Everybody tells you about MSG, but this is liquid love. So we're going to go ahead and use that one. Next thing up is mirin, right? You guys ever used mirin before? Because it is like sake, but it's more of a sweet essence that we're going to be bringing to our salmon. Sweet and savory is the style of izakaya, and having that to have one more bite more. That's a Japanese culture in kind of like in its essence. Next is the big boy coming in. Boom! We got the sake. This is cooking sake. Fix label there. This is, there's a bunch of different types of sake that you're going to do. This is a Ginkenmin's, I believe. You can get a Junmai, which is going to be more on the floral side. We want more of like the soy kind of side of sake. So that's why we're using this particular one. Next, we're going to be using our last ingredient, which is brown sugar. Let me check that out. Yeah, whatever. The brown sugar is going to add caramelization whenever we're doing our high heat roast. And we're going to develop a really nice skin on our thing because it's going to caramelize and bubble like a barbecue sauce on the label. So we got all our ingredients here. So what do we need? Obviously, we need the salmon, right? So let's put this aside, and then here comes the in. Flying in, we've got our star of the show. We've got some salmon belly. Is that in frame?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Salmon belly. This is not easy to find. I only have one particular store that I go to for actual salmon belly. Most of the time here in the Pacific Northwest, whenever you get salmon belly, they reserve that at the fishmonger to make salmon candy and jerky, and they will not sell you salmon belly straight up like this. So there's like one place in Kent that I can actually go, and it's hella cheap because they just cut it off because they usually don't serve it to their particular customers that they had. So this, as you notice, it's got the fringe on there, and this part is not to be forgotten. This joint unit, any joint in an animal, whenever you do it correctly, is going to be the most luxurious part whenever you're gnawing on it, and you look like a badass whenever you like pull off the fin and look somebody in the eye and then just rip into it afterwards. Okay, so easy enough. This is something you can do, I can do in the future, right? Plastic bag. So we're just going to take our plastic bag, and we're going to take bad boys. This one's going to be Charles. Get that guy in there, and then we're going to put this guy in there. This guy's going to be Boudreaux, since I was talking about that the entire time. And then we have that in our bag. Cool. Over here. One nasty hand, one good hand, right? So now we're going to take our mushroom soy sauce. I really should have prepped this since I just bought it. And we're going to put in, well, let's go ahead and put this like here, right? So do you guys know about flipping over your bag? All right, well, anyway. So, voila. A little bit of mushroom soy sauce. And I think of you. Going down the line, mise en place. Now we've got our mirin. Cab always by the bottle, coming out. A little splash of mirin. Whoops. See if I'm the boss or not. I'm obviously not. And we got hands of helping.
Solid D&D reference.
Thank you, hands of helping. Yeah, that's sake. So go ahead and put a splash of that in there. We don't really need a lot with a plastic bag, so this is the joy. I'll show you later. But now we have our brown sugar, and then we're just going to toss that in there. Why am I using a plastic bag instead of Tupperware? Because of this particular reason. I don't have to use this much marinade because I can take all the air out of this. And also, I can get air into it to be able to get that brown sugar worked into to the flavors. Let's go ahead and just clean this up really fast. Mise en place. Mise en place is important. Away. Behind the magical rice cooker. And nobody sees it anymore. And then it's okay. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and just get that brown sugar worked into the things that we're doing. So while we're shaking this, why am I doing this particular combination of things? Japanese cooking is all about simplicity and complements of flavors. You want to be able to have just enough sweetness and just enough saltiness, not like any other culture where like it's satisfying. You want it to be just not satisfying enough where you want to take another bite. And that is the essence of Japanese cooking. We're just like, well, that wasn't exactly what I want. I'll have another.
It's just a tease.
And then you feel clean because you're never overindulging. I think that's kind of the purpose of Japanese cooking. It's like you always feel I'm not being outlandish here. Okay, so got that mixed. We're going to take the air out of the bag, and this is why I use a plastic bag, so that I don't have to use that much marinade, because I can completely surround everything by just compressing it to what is already there. So now we have something that we can just put in the refrigerator for a second and go ahead and let that marinate. So I'll be back. And I'm back. Now we have clean cutting surface. We didn't mess anything up. Not too many dishes, right? But now we got to do rice. So the dish that we're doing right now has, it's almost like a taco. It's going to be seaweed, nori, and then rice, and then our salmon belly that we're going to be roasting afterwards. And we're going to complement that and put that on there with a little bit of furikake as a garnish. So we've got a rice cooker here. We need some rice. Time for some rice. This is my friend Yunsu's. Thank you, Yunsu. This is her wonderful rice machine that I really, really want. My friend Mike calls it a computer tower, which I think is also hilarious. And all I have to do is push a button.
Maybe 3 more. Or
Maybe
2 more.
Maybe 2 more.
3 times.
2. So now we've got some nice sushi Calrose rice. Get it where you would expect to get it. Into the rice cooker. Good. So now we have our rice in a pot. Great. So, new fun fact. Whenever you're trying to do this, like usually you put the water in here, and then you wash it around with your hand, and you pour it out. You put the water in there, you wash it around, and pour it out. Today, we're going to be using a different method taught me by David Chang, where I'm going to put some water in here, and I'll show you in a second. So, I got cold water, and the purpose of this is that I'm trying to get the starch molecules that, after refinement of the rice, there leaves starch particle residues, almost like cornstarch on the other side of the rice. And that's going to make a slurry out of your water, and it's going to make it super sticky, which is not what we want to. So I've got some chopsticks, and we're just going to braise this for a second to get those starch molecules